At Trinity Health System, we have a profound respect and awe for all creation. We are motivated by the words of Christ to be his hands and heart to those in need. Our doctors, nurses, and staff are driven by selfless performance, combining our expertise with the technology to bridge the gap to healthier communities. Healthcare isn't just about healing, it's about human dignity. Trinity Health System, inspired by faith, serving you with distinction.
Hey folks, welcome to another edition of the Star Sportscast. I'm Joe Catullo, along with Andrew Grimm. How you doing, Andrew?
Good, Joe. How you doing?
Pretty good. Last week you wore Heinz Ward. Today, Mike Tomlin gear?
Yeah, Mike. That's exactly what I call this. Actually, is the Mike Tomlin shirt.
Well, I guess it's better, or anything's better than Trent Dilfer. If anyone even knows that Trent Dilfer played with the Browns. Anyway, Andrew, Week 2 has wrapped up. We are getting ready for Week 3. Before we get to Week 3, let's talk a little bit about some high school sports. Week 2, we're going to start with the game you went to. Usually Boom and Lumen goes, but you went down there. Big Red at Morgantown. Big Red won 28-6, 6-6 at halftime. What changed in the second half for Big Red?
The biggest thing in the first half for Big Red was they were moving the ball well, but they turned the ball over 3 times. That kept them from putting more points on the board and having a bigger lead at halftime. Once they cleaned the turnovers up in the second half, they just pretty much ran all over Morgantown. They racked up 349 rush yards and pulled away to 28-6 victory.
And real quick with Big Red, Morgantown's coach said that Big Red just wears and wears on you. How exactly do they wear on them? Like
the offensive line, their coach had very, very high praise of Steubenville's offensive line. And as the game went on, Morgantown's defense was on the field a lot. They just got tired, and it didn't matter. I think Big Red had 8 different people carry the football, and it didn't matter which one was getting the ball. They were all picking up 5, 6, 7, 8 yards at a time.
Okay, we'll get to Big Red later when we make our Week 3 predictions. Up next, Anacostia. They're from D.C. They lost to Weir 47-6. We weren't at that game. Weir won, 51-0 against Oakland the week before, so they've outscored their opponents, 98-6 this year?
Yeah,
not a bad start.
Pretty impressive start for Weir. They had 348 rush yards, too, so they ran all over Anacostia.
Man, you really got some notes this week.
Yes, I came prepared this week.
All right, next game. One of 3 games I was at this week, at least for a quarter. Indian Creek at East Liverpool, 27-0 Indian Creek. I was there beginning of the second quarter through most of the second quarter. It was nothing going the second, and then by the time I left, I think it was like 17-0 Indian Creek. Indian Creek just kind of, not really wore down East Liverpool, but just completely took over. Indian Creek started showing the type of team that they can be this year, kind of like when they were against Cambridge the week before. The game after that, we have Edison lost to Wellsville 26-14. I was there for the first quarter. Edison was up 7-0, scored the first points. Fans were excited. I give Edison fans credit for going out there. There might have been more Edison fans at Wellsville.
Yeah, they had a good contingent of Edison fans up at East Liverpool week 1, too. I was at that game. Yeah.
Anyway, Edison, I left those 7-0. I don't know what happened. Maybe Wellsville made some halftime adjustments, but Edison's now 0-2. The next game, Toronto. Or is it Toronto? Still haven't figured that one out yet. Defeated Bridgeport 60-22. Toronto's first win, and now they got Edison this week. And we'll get into that later. Cleveland Rhodes lost to Harrison Central 36-30. Harrison Central opened up their new beautiful gray turf, too. Did you see that gray turf yet?
Yes, I saw it at their photo day. It is a thing of beauty.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was impressed. I like it.
It's better than a red field?
It's different.
Okay. Union Local, they defeated Buckeye Local 35-7. Buckeye Local now 0-2. Saturday's games, Catholic Central defeated Glen 63-20. I was there for the first half. It was pretty close. Glen had 2 separate leads, 7-0 and 14-7, and then Catholic Central completely started taking over. But Glen was in it in the third quarter, and then Catholic Central really took over in the fourth quarter, I believe it was. Glen, though, looked a lot better from the first week, because I was there for the first week to the second week, just from my first half viewing at least. The final game, Weirton Madonna, their first game of the year, they defeated Tuskegee Central 34-0. And I don't think we picked Madonna to win that game.
No, I believe only one person picked Madonna to win that game.
That was Ralph Cox.
Yes, it was.
Good job, Ralph. And Brooke was on a bye week. Looking forward to week 3 now. St. Joseph's Catholic at Steubenville Big Red for the 3rd straight week. I don't think anybody's going to pick against Big Red.
Nope. I think everybody's probably going to take the safe bet on Steubenville.
Okay. The other Steubenville team, this might be a closer one. Catholic Central at Western Reserve. We looked it up earlier. Western Reserve 154-0 to St. Thomas, and then fell to Canfield last week 34-0. So there's no in between with Western Reserve.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Western Reserve team shows up for that game.
Next game, University at Brooke. Don't know how much we know about University. I believe I have Brooke. You have University winning.
Yeah, just from talking to Brooke's coach, Coach McLean thinks that University's a pretty good team. So we'll see.
Next game, allegedly I will be covering that game. If you see me out there, say what's up. Buckeye Loco at Glen, the game I'm going to. I didn't mean to confuse you. Buckeye Loco at Glen. Both teams 0-2, but I mean, I personally saw Glen 2 weeks. They are improving. I'm not sure about Buckeye Loco, so I'm going Glen.
Yeah, it seems like Glen is the team that, of the two 0-2 teams, Glen's the team that's improved more in the 2 losses anyway.
Mm-hmm. Next game, Bel Air at Harrison Central. I believe we both picked Harrison. I did at least.
Yeah, I picked Harrison Central as well.
Next game, you will be covering Alliance at Indian Creek. Alliance, I believe, is 1-1. Indian Creek 2-0. First home game for Indian Creek. A lot of fans will be out there, I'm sure, because there's a heck of a lot of fans out at East Liverpool last week for Indian Creek.
Yeah, it should be an interesting game. I know talking to Coach Connor before the season, he thought Alliance was one of the more skilled teams on their schedule. And I'm sure they're pretty excited to be coming home after a couple weeks on the road and a couple impressive victories on the road to start the season.
Okay. Then we have John Marshall at Weir. I believe we're both picking Weir for that one. I think John Marshall is going to give him a little bit of a challenge, more so than the first 2 teams, but I still see Weir coming out with this one.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, finally, we have Toronto at Edison. I don't think any question we both have Toronto winning that one. Then the final game, Madonna at Bridgeport.
I went with Madonna.
I believe I did too. I don't remember. I just did it like 5 minutes ago. I don't remember who I picked. All right. Anything else you want to add about high school sports real quick?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Nothing in that 5 sheets of notes you have? Hickenwood?
Yeah.
All right. College football, some of the big games. The biggest one, your Buckeyes host Oklahoma. And to spite you, I picked Oklahoma.
Yes, I realized that you picked Oklahoma, and I figured it was probably just to get a rise out of me.
I try to do nothing to get a rise out of you, believe me.
It's going to be a good game, I think. And I think the reason that I picked Ohio State is just because it's at the Horseshoe.
The reason I picked Oklahoma is to spite him. Okay, Pitt at Penn State. We both picked Penn State. Concerning what Pitt did against Youngstown State, going to overtime with an FCS school, go Gwins. Penn State should have been in the college playoffs last year. No offense, Ohio State. Penn State's picked up right where they left off so far. I see Penn State winning.
Yep, I don't even think that game's going to be close.
Nice input. Finally, we have East Carolina at West Virginia. Don't know much about East Carolina. I think we both have West Virginia winning that one.
Yeah, I think West Virginia will go to 1-1 and try to get back on track.
And for the fun stuff, we have on our predictions 2 NFL games. We'll start with the first one. Ravens at Bengals. You picked the Ravens. I picked the Bengals. So I think it'll be a toss-up. We don't know much about them or care much about them. Finally, the big one. Squealers at Clowns. I think the Clowns.
I don't even know where to begin with what's wrong with that, but
you never know.
It's not a couple years ago with Brian Hoyer playing quarterback for the Browns. It's
or Charlie Badgett Cookies playing quarterback for the Steelers.
Yeah, it's it's going to be Steelers. There's not even a whole lot to break down there.
You have a score projection?
I'll go 35-14.
You crack me up. 2017, Browns with a shocker. Last second field goal. Who's our kicker? I don't know. He's going to kick a field goal to win it. That's all I know. Mike, how much time do we have left?
Lots.
Really?
11 minutes.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm done.
By the way, I went to East Carolina University.
Yeah?
Graduated from there.
Really?
The Mighty Pirates of ECU.
Do the Mighty Pirates have a chance against West Virginia?
Yes.
Really?
They will be victorious.
Are you gonna pick them in your predictions?
Yes.
Good. I need to move myself up from second to last place. Andrew, actually, in predictions, you are now what, tied for first with Aaron, or at least second. How do you feel?
It's off to a good start. Wasn't sure exactly how good I was going to be at it, but so far I can't complain.
I knew how terrible I was going to be at what I picked. Meeks to be St. Clairsville. Everyone's laughing at me in this office. What was it like, 34-0, 42-0, something like that. And then I picked Cleveland Rhodes against Harrison. Though that was a close game, though, at least.
Yeah, 36-30.
Yeah. It's always next week.
And for a Browns fan, there's always next year.
All right. From Andrew Grimm and Joe Catullo, the Star Sportscast, probably the shortest version we're going to have this year. We'll see you next week.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It's really tough for me to look at an icon. It really is.
Store, and the man bought some grapes. He gave one to the duck, and the duck said, "No thanks." But you know what sounds good? It would make my day.
5,
Waddle,
4,
waddle.